Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are now live on YouTube at Sportswire Radio, Twitter at Thomas Bryce 2017, and we're about to talk all things related here to Colory Championship Wrestling. Why? Because we have an event upcoming called No Excuses tomorrow night. We spoke about it last week on the show with the guest, and I'm sure that's going to be a hot topic. And we spoke about also a number of things with somebody else, and we've got two more shows after that, and we're supposed to speak with the CEO of Colory Championship Wrestling. It remains to be seen if he'll be here, but it's been a hot skip in a minute since he has been on Sportswire Radio. So we're going to give him that introduction that he should get, and we hope that he'll hear and hope he'll change his mind to come on Sportswire Radio. So in the meantime, so with without further ado here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show, the owner and CEO of CCW, James Barrass.
What time do you call this, Rev? Wait a minute. It's fine. I got the time mixed up. Stupid watch.
Well, Mr. Barrass, you are James Barrass, and a lot of people were kind of wondering, is he here? Is he not here? But you are the CEO, and certainly we wanted to be accommodating for you, sir, because it has been a long time since you have been on Sportswire Radio, and I feel like the wrestling world has changed, but especially in CCW. And to talk about it to start, we've got a big show coming up, Mr. Barrass, which you as always are going to be a part of coming up here. It is called No Excuses. For those that are listening and watching here on Sportswire Radio, Mr. Barrass, give us the No Excuses rundown as to what we should expect tomorrow night.
What everybody will be expecting to see, what they will see, is they're going to see me taking out that idiot Rico Justice. And he's going to be staying down, not just for the 10 count, but forever. He isn't going to get back up. I ain't going to allow him to get back up. So that is a goddamn spoiler alert. But then moving on, we are going to see nerds taking out that idiot of a dog, that flea-infested
A-dog,
scumbag.
oh, that A-dog, that crazy A-dog there you got. That crazy, crazy dog there. You're going to put the dog to sleep almost.
The problem with him, he'll probably wake back up because he is just nothing but an idiot and he deserves every beating that he gets. So nerds, I've got your back on this one. I'm going to sit in the corner and watch while you tear and take that dog for the walk of his life.
Well, I'll tell you what, you and Mr. Nerds seem to have had formed quite the relationship since we've last seen you on Sportswire Radio. Do you want to talk about that? Do you want to talk about Alfie Nerds and what you obviously have seen in him these past few months?
Alfie Nerds, he is like a son to me. Yes, I attacked him at one of the shows when he took on Blizzard, but that was for his own good. He won and got through to the next round in Genius of the Ring. He understood what kind of a father figure I was doing that to him. I knew he didn't really stand a chance against Blizzard, but I took matters into my own hands. And voila, he moved on to the next round. Then I took him out to train him up like a dog. And guess what? That paid off. That worked. You know, the focus was there. He's better than everything than A-Dog. He's faster than A-Dog. You know, the guy can eat raw steak like it's a Sunday's dinner. Straight down.
Is that possible, actually? Is that possibly, Mr. Barrass, that you
What
could
nerds
actually...
did it. Nerds did it. Rump steak as well. Not the little frying steak, thick cut rump steak, straight down the hatch, straight down the mouth. And guess what? He loved every bit of it. Every single bite of that rump steak. And then, you know, he is the dog in CCW now.
Well, I could certainly see that, and obviously we want people to follow CCW, and we'll certainly get into some of that in some comments here shortly. But I want to talk about something else before I come into your match, and I want to talk about our champion Prince Dagan because he's opening things up tomorrow. And
He certainly is.
if you would have asked me that you and Prince Dagan actually would have had some kind of understanding. I think back to 2 years ago when we first started working with you here, I would have said no way. Last year, I would have said certainly no way. But yet here we are, and it seems like there's, I guess, a respect between you and Prince Dagan, and you want to talk about that. And what can we expect from the champion opening tomorrow's show here at No Excuses?
Well, you're correct there, Tom. 2 years ago, even a goddamn year ago, nearly a year ago, I faced Dagon at Colony of Souls 2. Yes, he got the upper hand and got me in the coffin on his return. But sometimes I do think deep down, demons can see sense in humans. And he saw what I was trying to get out of him a year ago. People pretend to be your friend. People pretend to like you. Sometimes in this business, you have to stand on your own 2 feet and you have to make a mark in this business or people are going to walk all over you. And I tried to tell him that. He didn't listen, but now he has listened and now he has seen sense. So demons do see sense.
So you're saying almost everything that maybe Mr. Dagan saw a year ago, certainly 2 years ago, almost in a way, you kind of proved or showed him that maybe he was going the wrong way almost.
I may have played a part in this, but the one that is left in this little thing that's going on is his son Spawn. Now, Spawn, if you're watching this, your dad, your father, he is blood. Humans, I am a human. Your dad is a demon from hell. Now, my advice is you take your father's side or something bad will happen. And I'm not saying to you, but maybe to the people that are close to you.
Mr. Barrass, I have to actually ask you this question, and I don't even know how you're going to answer this properly, sir, but I actually had Prince Dagan, if you remember, on the show almost 2 years ago now, and that was probably one of the hardest interviews I've ever done in my entire career. Just before I might have had one of my most, I guess, enjoyable interviews, but I go back in terms of one of the most difficult ones because obviously Mr. Dagan speaks a different language. So how were you able to communicate with Mr. Dagan then?
Me and Dagon, all we have to do is look each other in the eyes, nod, shake hands, and that's all we need to do because that just tells everything you need to know.
Oh, well, we'll certainly find out. Obviously, we're very excited to see Mr. Dagan and what he does here as champion. But let's go back to your match because obviously this is a last man standing and, you said some different things here. And obviously, are you ready for the match? I mean, how's the training going for this? This is not a usual match here, Mr. Barrass. I mean, so how are you? I know you are the CEO. I know you're certainly obviously top tier, but I mean, how are you getting ready for tomorrow night?
Well, I've been here all goddamn night in the ring, training by myself, working these goddamn biceps up because this is what's going to choke him out at the end of the day, and that is what's going to get him the 10 count. Once I get my hands on him, and he's got his son all the way from Leeds travelling up as well. What a waste of coach fare. You might as well just chuck your money to the ground to some homeless person because they would have benefited from more than a stupid bus ride all the way up from Leeds.
Now, Mr. Barrass. So I'm going to ask you a couple different ways about this. Is this A, motivating you to be able to do what you want to do, knowing that his son is going to be in attendance all the way from Leeds? And conversely, I would have to say, are you saying that he's going to witness his funeral for his father? Is that what you're saying here in both these points, sir?
If he steps to my goddamn way, it's a last man standing. So anything can kind of go, and nothing's planned on my part. I'm going in, doing the job, and I'm walking out, the only man standing. If his son gets in my way, then there will be hell to pay.
Wait, are you saying, Mr. Barrass, that you have nothing planned?
I am squeaky clean, Reverend.
Really? So there's nothing planned. There's no anything. You're just going up in there and just going and just give him the old-fashioned beatdown, basically.
The old-fashioned beatdown like he got before.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out. And somebody wants to ask, when are you going to start whistling? I don't know why the whistling is going to come up here, but I don't know how to whistle. I don't know if Mr. Barrass does, but we'll certainly find out here with no excuses coming up. And obviously, I'd like to talk about another match here coming up here, which we had on last week in the show. That was Hybrid and Walker Wall Street. Now, I know you caught this interview because Hybrid had a lot to say. And speaking of people that have also kind of tuned or maybe changed or turned a new leaf, whatever you may want to call it, Hybrid seems to have done that, and he's wrestling Walker Wall Street. And man, you have no love for Walker Wall Street. Walker Wall Street is somebody that you have loathed for a long time. I mean, we're going back a long time here. And I mean, Hybrid had maybe a lot to say, but not a lot to say at the same time. So it seems like you and him have at least some type of respect as well. And what are you expecting here in a match that's arguably a main event?
So I'm going to give Wall Street something, just a little something. He was our very first genius of the ring last year.
Yes, he was.
Bravo, Wall Street. Bravo. But what have you done this year? Nothing. You have fallen on your knees time and time again, and you got lucky against nerds.
Doesn't win the big one. I agree.
And he attacked me at the El Cap Centre at Rumble in the Underground 3. I'll not forget that, Wall Street, but that is for another time. But then you've got the Pitbull. What are you going to do against the Pitbull, Wall Street? But two young, hungry men going into this fight, all I can see is I look forward to seeing the Elite getting tear apart.
Well, I mean, with a match like this, where literally you've got the sheer strength of Hybrid, you've got the size of Walker, they certainly both have advantages that they bring into this match. I almost have to ask, I mean, will the ring even stand afterwards, considering what these two could do to each other and the destruction that'll be laid upon the ring afterwards with no excuses?
Well, if the ring does collapse and they get on their feet, I'm telling the referee it's still going ahead. So they're going to have to slam each other about wherever and whenever they can get their hands on each other, because that match will finish if this ring does snap into two.
You know, I wanted to ask you a question about Hybrid, and I'll certainly save the opponent I'd like to see him wrestle with later on in the show. But I want to ask you a number of different things. And we had spoke about the fact that Hybrid maybe now is being able to be his true self. You know, there was a number of different things that he felt in his mind that it went on when he was the world champion, and maybe the lack of attention, lack of posters, lack of main events. And now he's getting to be able to go back to the basics. And I mean, what do you think about some of that and some of the comments he made last week on the show about those things?
I say it like this. Hybrid went into the CWO against what's the word called? One of the biggest idiots in CCW. Look at me. If nobody gives him attention, he spits his dummy. And we all know who we're talking about, Dustin Hart, ain't we? So then there's Hybrid in the back of the queue. A young and up-and-coming hungry guy who you took under his wing, your wing, sorry. And then there's Blizzard, Well, we all know the story with Blizzard, Mr. Worldwide News. And, look at Blizzard, all the women checking him out, all the blood hungry people coming to Carnage to see him. And Blizzard is pushed in the back of the queue again. And this guy is trying to break through and break out. And we're not talking about just any guy, we're talking about our former CCW Underground Heavyweight Champion. And the board, not me, has screwed him over many times. But all he has to do is show and prove that he's went on his own way, and he's going to rise to the top one time very soon in CCW again, because that guy's got potential, that guy's got heart, but most of all, that guy has the fight in him to do that.
So you're saying then that you agreed with Hybrid. That wasn't your decision, the way things were handled with him as champion. Is that correct?
That is totally correct. People may think I run absolutely everything in CCW. No, 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 no. There's a board above me. There's a board, and I've actually been screwed by the board, not once, but a few times. And I know who one of the board members is. The other ones are too scared to show their goddamn faces around me. But I tell you what, Mr. McGregor's watching. I'm not even going to call him Mr. McGregor. I'm going to call him Colin. Colin, but you've had, dealings with them. He's had his hand in their pocket many, many times. So, Hybrid, maybe you're looking at the wrong guy. Maybe you need to look on the other side of the room. That slithering little snake, McGregor.
I want to go back to something that we spoke about, because you mentioned the CWO. Obviously, Dustin Hart is a huge part of that. And I want to ask your thoughts, sir, in the fact that, do you think maybe, and I'd asked Hybrid this question, and I'm sure you heard his answer, but I had asked Hybrid, did he feel that Dustin had maybe hung on to Hybrid and saw that he was this young guy coming in here with a lot of prime, poise, a lot of ability here, and maybe he saw him as a way to kind of latch on and kind of hang on to keep himself relevant? Do you think that was a fair question, and do you feel or agree with what Hybrid had to say about that?
Don't take this the wrong way, Hybrid. But Dustin rides the coattails of any young and upcoming wrestler. He knows his time is nearly up, and he can't stand that, because Dustin, since you've come to CCW, you have rose from the ground up, and you hear the crowd cheering for you. You see what the crowd are like for you, and you know it's a little too late. And you don't like it when they do it for the likes of Dagon, the likes of Spawn, the likes of Hybrid. You don't like that. So you push them further and further back of the queue, because look at me. I'm Dustin Hart. I'm the heart of the goddamn heritage, and everyone behind me doesn't matter. That's how it is. He rides on the coattails of everybody that is young and up and coming. So, Dustin, your time is coming up very, very soon.
Okay, so obviously I think that was kind of the answer I figured you would give, sir. But also, I want to go to maybe ask your opinion on what I had asked Hybrid about when he was champion. I mean, do you feel that maybe people didn't get it? Because when I think about Hybrid as champion, he was really, I don't want to say the first CCW champion, but he was the first champion that was almost very, in the modern day, very unique. There were certain guys that tried to be a champion that you were certainly aligned with, and he started, he stopped, and he basically, it's obviously out there what happened. But I feel like with Hybrid compared to the other underground champions, he was kind of the first champion that you had that was marketable. You talk about the board, but he was the first one that was on par with champions that I've had here on Sportswire, like a Disciple, like an RP Davis, guys that have basically come from the fighting background, guys who are legitimate, look like marketable champions that you sell tickets to. So do you feel like that maybe that there was something there that held him down as a champion because he was really the first of his kind here in Cutlery Championship Wrestling? What is your opinions on that, sir?
My opinion on it is Hybrid is a young guy, and Yes, he become one of the youngest to be our champion and to represent CCW with the main title. That's a lot. That can be a lot for someone's shoulders when you have all the eyes, everything on you. Maybe Hybrid was just trying to adjust to get the feel, and but his big goal was, I'm destroying everyone in front of me. I'm destroying everyone. And maybe he might have just lost a little bit of focus. It might have been Dustin. It might have been the CWO. It might have been McGregor. But him in this goddamn ring will wipe out anybody on his prime. But maybe he might lose focus when he sees someone taking his goddamn limelight, like Dustin Hart. He should be in the limelight, not Dustin Hart. Maybe that might have gotten into his brain and his mind, and it might have just...
It's fair to say then Dustin Hart was jealous of Hybrid, you think?
Dustin Hart is jealous of Dustin Hart. What else can I say?
That's why I still had to, at the very least, ask you this question here. We are here with Mr. James Barrass himself. He is the CEO of Cutlery Championship Wrestling. And, I want to say this on the air because I have Mr. Barrass with us. When you think about one of my all-time favorite companies here on Sportswire Radio, it has always been CCW. I am always going to be CCW for life because you think about the fans that CCW has. You think about the sellout after sellout and the amazing roster that CCW has to offer. Mr. Barrass has been the man behind it all, and we are here talking all things related here to CCW. I want to say hello to my very good friend from the state of Pennsylvania, Mr. Ron, who's back with us. He was with me when I was here before, and now he's here with me, and he'll probably be with me here.
Well, pull that up. Pull what up. He just said, Tom, what did he say there? Hi, Tom.
Said, hey,
where's
Tom.
my hello? Come on.
Well, that's a good point. So, Ron, if you are out there, because Mr. Barrass is a CEO, there's not too often that we get CEOs. I know our last guest had owned 1,000 banks, well, 7,362 of them. You are a CEO. And I would dare say, listen, since Vince McMahon's out of business, you are the most successful CEO in this sport because you run sellout after sellout show. Look at the CCW fan base. I mean, over 4,000 plus followers on Facebook. Carnage Championship Wrestling, Coming Out Championship Wrestling, Cutlery of Souls 3 is coming up on October the 28th. Carnage Championship Wrestling on Friday, October the 13th. So you definitely do want to say hello to Mr. Barrass. And also, Ron would like to respectfully say, no disrespect, Mr. Barrass. Good evening to you. Now, does that satisfy you?
Thank you. Manners cost nothing. Thank you very much.
Okay, fair enough. Good enough here. So what else can we expect here at No Excuses? Because obviously this is a free trainee show, which I think is really kind of you, sir, by the way, doing a free trainee show. CCW shows are usually like people run out and they want to go buy tickets right away. But what else can we expect here at No Excuses?
We can expect to see nerds putting that A-Dog down for good. We can expect to see Dagon teaming with his brother Adrian, taking on one of the board member. The members is Mr. Brown, Husey, and who is that other one? Logan. I don't care about him. But 3-on-2. 3-on-2. And we will see that doesn't matter if you put 3, 4, 5, 6 in front of these two brothers, they are going to dismantle you piece by piece, limb by limb. Then, we're going to see in the main event, we're going to have a bit of a rumble as well. Why not? We'll have a bit of a rumble, and guess what? I'll throw myself in there as well. Wait.
Time out. Now we're going to have a rumble to end the show, and you're announcing live on the air for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio and our CCW fans who are joining us here shortly, that you're entering the rumble. So are you basically entering this rumble expecting to win the rumble? Is that what it is?
I'm not expecting. I am going to win it. There you go.
You are going to win.
Yes.
Why so confident that you're going to win? Why are you so confident?
I'm having a really good day today, Reverend.
You are?
Yes,
Is it because you got FIFA 24 and the game's actually better this year?
exactly.
I hope it's
FIFA
better than the last few,
24.
by the way, because the last couple of them have been hit or miss. So maybe that's why you're having a good day.
Very good day today.
Just don't be Harry Kane in penalty kicks.
No.
So we're gonna win this rumble. You're having a good day. Okay, fine. And I have some more comments. I want to say hello to somebody you know very well. So I think you know who this person is. So we say hi.
Hi,
Ron,
Danielle.
yeah, I think you know Danielle. If Vince can win the rumble, you can win one too. Well, you've got some better friends also. I think in this rumble that'll help us, right?
That's the best thing you've said all night, Frankie. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm sure Frankie will have more comments. Certainly, Frankie is one of our favorites on Sportswire. He tunes in to all of our shows. He was a guest on actually one of our internet radio shows because we are on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year on sportnarium.com/player. You can also check us out now on Instagram at the Sports Report 2021. We're also on YouTube at Sportswire Radio. We have a lot of new subscribers. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, the host of the Sports Report, your voice of all wrestling, and the owner of Sportswire Radio. And I'll have more coverage coming up tomorrow afternoon, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, when I'll be speaking basketball, this time with Anthony McLean. He was a champion player on the court. He's transitioned into coaching. He's done a number of different things that we're very excited about. He's a local guy, and we're going to talk about with him and those experiences and some. So we'll be here Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But I'll have more coverage coming up. I got a big one coming up on October the
Do you want to
13th.
know? Do you want to know something, Reverend? I've just
Yes.
I've just had this thought in my head, this little idea,
All right. What
and
do you
no
got?
doubt that I always get these little ideas in my head.
All right. You're James Barrass. I'm going to
But
listen. You are Mr. Barrass.
but because you're all supportive with CCW, you plug us, you help us, you support us all the way
Yes.
across the Atlantic Ocean, all the way from New York where you are
I
to.
am in New York. And by the way, the weather is absolutely abominable right now. So I hope it's not as bad as where you are right
It's
now.
been absolutely fantastic today. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you, Reverend. And I don't know if it's
All
ever
right.
been done before over here in the UK, but these backdrops, these pull-ups, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
get one specially made, and it's going to be advertised on every one of our show. But what's going to be put on it, Reverend, is
Mm-hmm.
your Sportswire logo, your name, the FM or the radio frequency or where you can find you. It's going to have all your goddamn details on. And every time people come and they say our backdrop's up, they're going to see a sports wire as well. And hopefully we're going to take a picture that lasts longer on it. They can take photos and then they can tune in and we can
Well,
get more of our CCW fans to be watching this show.
well, Mr. Barris, I mean, so is there a catch here? Do I need to basically say top tier for life? Do I need to say
No
any?
catch at all. We know you're top tier for life, but I don't expect you to say that on your show every time. We know the truth, Reverend. But no, it's good to be good. It's nice to be nice. You support us. It's nice to support
Well,
back.
I want to
So
say, well, before I do get into a couple of things, I actually do want to talk hybrid again. I want to get to a few other things about the show, and I want to also promote Colory of Souls 3, which is really what I'm excited about because am I seeing it correctly? Taylor Trutz and Colin McGregor in the ring. I'll get to that. I'll get to that. But I do want to say CCW has always, to me, gone above and beyond the means, not just of what you guys do in the ring, and that's why I've always supported CCW. And one of the reasons I've always supported you guys is something that you guys, which I think was correctly pointed out for your credit, was the Bradley Lowry Foundation. Now I know I spoke about this with the Tribal Cheese. I know Jam Dog and Walker came on earlier in the summer with this, and we touched upon it very briefly with Hybrid as well. I'm pretty sure, at least off the air, but talk about really the work that you did with this project and what it meant to get the coverage, because I really feel like I know you're in character right now. I know you're going to kill me in a second, but really what you guys, to me, as to why I've always supported you. And people tell me all the time, CCW, there's this out there, there's that out there, and, go look at Facebook. I say, no, CCW, I know CCW. And I know what everybody in that locker room does in the community. I know what you do in the community, and I know what obviously you mean to so many people. So talk about recently, a few days ago, getting acknowledged for the Bradley Lowry Foundation.
So yeah, few was it in April, May, June?
I think it was. I think we had Jam Dog and Walker right around the end of June, and I think that was the show was July, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We put on a fantastic event. Fight the Fight round two,
Yep.
and we end up raising, I think, in total
Yep.
£1,277. And obviously, we had to wait just for a couple of people's money coming in. We know money is a little bit tight for people and people are struggling, but we just had to wait. We didn't want to rush people. When we got it in, we then set up to go down and meet the people down the Bradley Lowry Foundation to deliver the money. The newspaper came out as well, East Durham Life. They've always been supportive with us over the past 2 years. We're on with a new reporter called Amy. We were with Tracy. Big shout to Tracy. She's moving on to something else. She's always been a big supporter of CCW. And yeah, we delivered the money. We listened to, we stopped down there for quite a while. It was me
Walker
mum,
was there. Walker was
Walk of
there.
Wall Street, Ronnie Thatcher, showing off with his belt. Anyway,
Yeah, Mug.
it's all right.
I
It's
could
fine.
see
It's fine.
Ronnie in his
It's for
voice.
good.
Yeah, Mug and Ronnie there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was
Love Ronnie though.
really good. We saw the little model, what they're trying to build, the holiday home down in Scarborough. That's where Bradley, before he passed on, used to go on holidays. It's on the coastal bit down in Yorkshire, on the
Sure.
coastal area, and they're building this holiday home where, you know, children have got like 2 weeks, 3, 4 weeks left to live. They get prioritized. They go there. The families can go there up to 10 people. So they've got all these rooms and all these things they can do, games room, and they could just be together and just spend them final moments with that. I have a heart. I do have a heart.
No,
It's
you listen. No. You
Yeah,
always
it
had
does.
a heart.
It gets. You start get. It gets to you when you start talking about stuff. When you're a parent yourself, and you know you're seeing these children going through what they're doing and stuff like that. It does get to you, because you just never know if you would need these people in the future. We listen to stories. We listen to some children that are doing well now, and they rang the bell, and we saw pictures, and just other stories, and it was always nice to hear that. And what we've done now is, because we know there's a lot more money that they need to still get, we've invited them to every show that we do to bring buckets to just get as much as they can at every single show that we do. They can freely come in. If they've got raffle tickets, we don't want anything from that. They're just free to come in and to do that, because I still want to be in connection with them to open doors. And if this can be an opportunity where they can walk away with 100 to £300 from just getting donations, we know where that's going, and that is fantastic for what they are doing. And like I say, I still want to do that with them, because I know next year when we do Fight the Fight round 3, we're doing it for autism awareness, and but I still want to invite them to all of our shows and get as much donations as possible, because they need it, and it's just the children need it as well, because
Yeah,
it'll be
it's
nice for
funny
them
you
children.
said that. When I had Bentley on a few weeks ago, we were talking about how there's been such a food crisis in the UK, and basically, a lot of people that you wouldn't expect, and they really need help out there. And I think that this is why I wanted to mention, and I'll come back to the comments. I know Hybrid is here. I know that the Tribal Cheese will be out there shortly. I know he's been very, very looking forward to this. But what you guys have always done to me, whether it's been help with cancer awareness, whether it's been help obviously with this cause, and obviously what you've done for those that have needed help in the locker room. CCW to me has always been a place that you can count on to be there for the community. And I think that that's why you've had such a special relationship with your fans. Every CCW show is sold out. CCW is always out there in the community. Look at all the CCW groups on Facebook. CCW really understands how to be able to go out there and make a difference in the community. And that's what it's about. And that's why you guys have succeeded. And that's why you guys will continue to succeed. And I think that that's why I wanted to spend a few minutes on this, because I think it was really important to talk about that. We have humanitarian problems, humanitarian crises, in small levels here in the UK, obviously in the US. I'm in New York, and we're the biggest example of it right now with the situation I won't get into. But I mean, obviously what you guys do speaks volumes. And I want to get to comments because it's not about me. It's about the people here in the audience. Want to say hello to this individual, Evening Boss. I think you might know who this is. So,
JJ Nova, I certainly do.
How you doing, JJ? Nice to see you for the first time.
I like that. I like that picture. There's Ear Dog there getting wiped out, and that's exactly what Nerds is going to be doing.
So, well, I tell you what, we'll have to find out. I'm sure I'll get the fallout from it because we are going to be having more CCW coverage coming up in the month of October, because we've got the big show at the end of the month, Coloring of Souls 3. We pretty much are in the end of the month now, and Ron would like to say the people of the UK have a special energy for wrestling. I love that. I just want to say very quickly before I do get to more comments, people ask me all the time. They say, why do you cover wrestling in the UK? And the reason I say I've done it for 3 years is because there's a special bond that each town has with wrestling. And the biggest example of that is Colory Championship Wrestling, because look at what the fan base of Colory Championship Wrestling has in CCW. You find me any company, you find me any indie place, you find me anywhere that has the fans in CCW and the talent in terms of what they do for the community, you're not going to find it. And that's why I continue, and I will always continue to support UK wrestling, but especially Colory Championship Wrestling. So that is your answer, Ron. And that's why I always try to be accommodating to the UK wrestling scene, and I'll continue to do that. CCW has taken a lot of backlash from a lot of people and still do, but they never give up and always do. I'm proud of what they do for the community and always put their hearts in it to help others. And that's why, again, I always say on Sportswire, I always go back to April last year when people were telling me, you know what? Don't cover CCW anymore. Walk away from them. And I said that moment, I said it on the air. I'm going to say it on the air right now, Mr. Barrass. That's never going to happen. As long as I have a pulse, as long as I have a great on this earth right now, I'm going to always continue to support CCW. So you can rest assured, as long as I have a platform, as long as I have a voice, and I'm not going anywhere, that CCW is always going to have a place on Sportswire. So I want to put that out there. Also, Michael, our friend, Mr. Michael Blackheart from Indiana, his father, by the way, is also a referee, his father-in-law. So if you ever need a referee from Indiana, he will certainly be available. His name is Festus. He says, Mr. Double Duty. Well, I'll be triple duty by when the show is over. This individual, Mr. Alfie Nerd, says, your boy Nerds has the future in his palms and youth, and with you as a leader, he's a future champ.
Best comment of the night, apart from Danielle's.
Okay, well, obviously you had to say Danielle was your best one. Also, I hope you're ready for justice to be served on you tomorrow night, Barrass. What do you want to say to that? Mr. Rico Justice is here.
What your son is about to witness is going to be his worst nightmare that he's never, ever going to get rid of. So I'll see you, Justice, tomorrow. And then when you wake up from the hospital room, you'll realize that you've just made a very, very stupid comment on one of the best radio shows there is to offer.
Now, can I ask you one follow-up question, though? One follow-up question, since your opponent is here. Are you concerned in any way, sir, that some of your comments could actually backfire on you and this could motivate Mr. Justice?
I'm not going to lie, Reverend. When he does hit, I do feel it. I'll give you that, Rico.
He can hit. I mean, I've seen some stuff here.
But you've got to remember one thing. I want this more than you do. I am going to get this more than you will ever get it. And you are going to get put right back to the queue because you are nothing to me, just someone that's in my goddamn way of dealing with other business that I have to attend to once mine and yours is over and done with. Because once I have beaten Rico Justice, Rio Delador is mine. She will work with top tier and she will do everything I ask her to do because she made her mouth go and now she's in the stipulation.
So are you saying that Rio is a big mouth that's going to get her just desserts tomorrow night?
Rio made her mouth go and got involved and made that stupid little video of her crying her eyes out. I
I
know what
saw
she,
it. I saw the video.
yeah,
I
because
saw it.
she's scared, Reverend.
Yeah.
She is scared. She knows exactly what I'm capable of and exactly what I'm going to be doing.
Why do you
And
think
don't get me
she's
wrong,
scared though? Why, in your opinion, that you think that she's scared?
because she's scared of everything, quite frankly. She's probably scared of her own shadow.
I've heard that line. I've heard that line before. Yep, I've heard that line. So maybe you think that she'll get what's good for her when you win the match tomorrow.
Just know, Rio, I'll take care of you. I'll look after you right. Not like the others.
Interesting. Interesting here. Ron says he got chills just now from hearing you speak. So that tells you the state of mind you were in, sir, as people are starting to come in here. They're certainly starting to see Mr. Barrass is got a few things to say here. And bobblehead Barrass from this individual. So this individual here seems to
That's Rico's family. Rico's family, when they're always here, they always chant Bobblehead Barrass. I tell you what, if you're listening to me, you witch, I'm sick of hearing that. And I am going to wear E-Defenders tomorrow so I don't hear none of that garbage coming out of yours or your kids' mouths. I am not a bobblehead Barrass.
well, I guess certainly we'll find out at No Justice tomorrow night. I don't think you remind me of Joel Cobra. Does Joel Cobra still work in CCW? Is he technically still on the roster? I guess
I do
technically.
believe that he is out with an injury at the moment,
I think
but
he's
Joe
tech.
Cobra will be back.
Yeah, I think
He
he's
will be back.
technically on the roster, but knowing you and actually knowing Mr. Cobra, I don't really see the resemblances. And that's not a slight on either one of you guys. I just don't see the resemblances. So, Ron, my suggestion is go on Facebook, compare both guys. You will not see the resemblances, but that's not, not a slight on either guy. Let me, though, get to Hybrid himself, as I'm saving this because now that Mr. Logan is here with us here. So let me get to a couple things. Now I'm going to come back to Hybrid and somebody else that's become a new member of the CCW roster this summer. Hybrid here. The thing that Mr. Barrass does for the company and the community should not be overlooked. One of the GOATs. Now, that I agree. You are one of the GOATs of the all time owners. I have always praised you when it comes to those things. But he also wants to say, though, listen to what yours truly wants, that me as a main eventer, front and center of a poster. Now, I'm glad that Hybrid spoke about this. Now, I know you say that the board was the one that was in control and he was the champion. But, I'm sure you caught the comment last week on Sportswire when I spoke about the fact. Now, CCW posters have all the big talent, right? All the people on the roster, whether it's Nerds, Dagan, Dustin, Ronnie Thatcher, the First Class. They're obviously a part of the roster. I mean, Mr. Logan, I'll get to, Walker Wall Street, you name them, all on the roster, right? But if you were to have a poster now of what I think I'd like to talk about with you, sir, is this match where on one side, you've got the Pitbull Hybrid, the former underground champion. And then on the other side, you've got this guy, this phenomenon. He's a larger than life persona. He gets acknowledged. We acknowledge him as Brie. He's the tribal cheese. And you think about this poster. All you need is on one side Hybrid, the other side the tribal cheese. CCW whenever the show is, and that's it. That's the poster. What do you think on
So,
all that?
so what I'm figuring it out here. Let me rack my brains and get creative here. So, on one side we have a pit bull,
Yeah.
and then on the other side we have a block of cheese.
But a block of cheese that is undefeated, a block of cheese. We saw what he did to Beelzebub the last time, who I know is going to be in action tomorrow. A block of cheese that has a background as a real fighter, just like Hybrid. The block of cheese that, was in the military once upon a time in his life. Hybrid, who's obviously gone up and beat people for a living. He actually still does that in his shoot job. Wink, wink. I mean, so if you think about it, yeah, that block of cheese and that pit bull on paper, maybe not impressive to you, but if you put these two guys on a poster, forget about Brock and Bobby, forget about Roman and Brock, forget about Cody and Roman, whoever else you want to throw out there in the current day in wrestling. These two guys, that's all you need. In fact, you could just have that show and that's it. Those are the two biggest attractions, I dare say, right now in this sport.
Never say never in CCW. Never say never. Next question.
Wait. Time out here as I zip a 7-Up here. So obviously I appreciate the 7-Up, whoever gave that to me. But that next, never say never. Now you're a businessman, correct?
Correct.
And you've been a successful businessman. I would dare say the most successful wrestling promoter in the UK currently, correct?
Some may say yes, some may say no. Probably a lot will say no.
But I'm gonna say, because you're on my show, I'm going to say yes. So you're on my show right now. You're not on Facebook on a thread and people from different places. You're on my show right now. I say you're the most successful in the independent scene. So you're a businessman. You're a very successful businessman. You're a successful promoter. You're a man out and about in the community. And you mean to tell me, because you're in the business of selling tickets, that we'll just say never between the tribal cheese and hybrid? That's all? That's all you want to
That
say?
kind of match needs to happen at a
It can
grand
happen
scale.
in your company. In your company, though, don't let some other promoter let it happen in Arcadian or in GTM or Mickey Mouse. No, it's your company. You have these two guys contractually obligated to work for you. They're two of the biggest draws. This is a match that in CCW we've never seen this type of match before. These two guys were clearly on Sportswire Radio last week, and they seem like they want the match to happen.
We've got a bit of a problem. We've got Hybrid, and the Elite is standing in his way. But then we've got Big Cheese. He's
Yes.
in Rome, Italy at the moment.
I think he just missed the beat on Equalizer 3 because Equalizer 3 was shot in Italy, and I think he unfortunately forgot that they
He'll
shot
probably enjoy the food, the wine, the culture too much. We might never see him come back over. We don't know. But there's the two problems that we have at the moment. But never say never.
Never say never. So that's the answer you're going to give us tonight. So you're not going to tell us no, but you're not going to tell us yes. Well, you know what? I do have comments on this. And first of all, Mr. Logan would like to say, because you did mention he is in Italy, and which we do know in it because he posted on the CCW group that he's going to Italy. So, I mean, there's really no hiding there. This is a show I've been looking forward to for a long time. The mastermind himself, Mr. Barrass, the Paul Heyman of the UK scene. Well, I mean, I pretty much typed you up in a different way, but yeah, same thing. I mean, listen, all semantics. Let's get to, though, first Hybrid, what he has to say. Like I said last week, how often is my name mentioned in dream matches? That speaks volumes. Now, I want to go back to this because, again, I think about your roster, right? Now, Walker and Hybrid is pretty much a main event match. I've had Walker on a bunch of times. I've had Hybrid on. That's a big match. No question that's a dream match. You've got other guys on the roster that I could certainly see Hybrid standoff with. Jam Dog would be somebody that comes to mind. Jam Dog we've had on the show. I think that would be another scenario where I'd say automatically, okay, that's somebody that would sell tickets. You've got Champagne Charlie. I mean, Champagne Charlie, Dalton Garrett, those guys, maybe them in hybrid cross paths down the road. Who knows? There's another bunch of possibilities. But you do obviously have somebody in hybrid that can sell you a lot of tickets, is all my point.
I'll agree on that one.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. Barrass is the CEO. When he thinks it's the right time, I'll be ready.
Exactly.
So do you think then that that's the mindset that you prefer rather than, let's say, Mr. Logan's kind of the way he goes about it, because he's this tribal cheese, larger than life. He comes in with his following. It's almost like it's like Mike Tyson coming into a boxing match where he comes in with, you used to be in his prime with John Horn and Don King and all these different confidants and accomplices. Whereas Hybrid's like, look, you're the boss and you want to put me up with somebody, I'll stack him. I'll knock him down. Whereas Hybrid, he's basically going off like Tom Cruise on Oprah when he was shouting out his love for Katie Holmes. He wants to go and already get in there with Hybrid. So you seem to like the hybrid approach.
Well, like I say, Reverend, never say never in CCW.
Okay. Well, you know what? I will get to some more comments because I could obviously see that where we're going with that. Ron also wanted to apologize about the Joel Cobra thing. You don't have to apologize at all. We just thank you for tuning in, my friend. Bat Pigeon is here though with the cuckoo. Let me do the Bat Pigeon impersonation. Cuckoo. Anything else?
That idiot, that rat-infested winged freak.
When you just said that, it just reminded me of the old 1960s Batman TV show when Frank Gorslin's character, who was the Riddler, would kind of like, it was him and the Joker. They would kind of go out and back and forth, and the Joker, who was played by the late Cesar Romero, would kind of laugh and kind of give that almost cuckoo-like laugh. That's what you reminded me just now when you said that.
Well, you nearly had me laughing there, Reverend.
I try. You said you were in a good mood today. You did say you were in a good mood.
Yeah.
24 much in a good mood.
I need to be in an excellent mood to,
Cheese where I like cheese.
Where do you like cheese, Bat Pigeon?
Well, I do have Mr. Justice here that would like to say, I can't wait to beat you down. You don't ever mention my family. You're going down, Barrass. What do you want to say to that?
Cameron, Oscar, Mia, that witch of a girlfriend of yours, Mary. There you go. I've just said your family. What you gonna do? You know where I am. I'm at the Conservative Club right now, sitting in the middle of the ring. You're not too far away. Tick-tock.
All right, I have a couple of comments here. I have a couple more. Actually, one Hybrid has a funny comment or a fun comment. I'll get to that last. But you're tight, and I'm enjoying my time in Rome and sipping on a beautiful red wine. I know Mr. Barrass is a fan of that, so he knows you're a fan of red wine. I actually do not drink wine, but drink it for me.
And I'm also a fan of slush. I love slush.
I have seen that on Facebook because you go to the movies a lot, and I'm a movie guy, so I noticed that you do have that as well. He also
Expendables 4, saw that the other night. Worth a watch, really good.
It was good. I would say it was good. I'll see it again. Equalizer was way better, though. Did you see Equalizer?
Not yet. I haven't seen that yet.
That you need to see. You need to see Equalizer. Was amazing. So yeah, but Expendables was good. I liked it for Megan Fox. How about that? Well, you can't.
There you go.
I can.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, good enough. You're right. I'm in Italy, Rome Square now, dipping on some beautiful red wine, and he said the same thing.
Yeah.
I have a question for you both. Both think of an active wrestler on the CCW roster page and say their names at the same time to see if you can think of a blind match.
Do we go at the same time or?
I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Right.
I
Right. Okay.
have a question for you
Are we,
both.
do we count down 3, 2, 1, then see a roster member?
Yeah, you want to do it? Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
Healthy
Jam dog.
nerds. Ah, I had healthy nerds. That was close. That was close. That was close. Jam Dog. We had him on, and I need to bring him back because he is one of my favorites. Jam Dog. His theme music was certainly one of my favorites. So that was a fun one. You know what? Hybrid. That was a good one because that's the first time I've done that before. So Mr. Logan would like to say it's the Wi-Fi here, so I sent the same thing twice. No problem. But I do want to get to Mr. Justice because he says that Miss Justice is going to slap the face or smile off your face tomorrow, Mr. Barrass. See you tomorrow night. What do you want to say to that?
Well, make sure she's not drinking beforehand because she'll end up slapping the ring post and missing it. Because she likes to have a few beforehand and all that. We know what your witch is like. We know all about her, making her mouth go. But nice clean shave just up there. Pick your spot. I can guarantee you're going to miss it.
Ooh, strong words there from Mr. James Barrass. And Hybrid says Nerds versus Jam Dog. Now, that'd be an interesting match, actually. I mean, that actually could be believable, you think. Alfie Nerds and Jam Dog. Obviously, Alfie, after he gets through with A Dog, goes to wrestle another dog. This time with a 2Gs.
We'll see. But he needs to focus on what he needs to focus on, what's right in front of him right now.
I would agree with you on that. And Nerds versus Jam Dog is quite the underdog match for Nerds.
Now, JJ Nova. I liked you a bit more 2 seconds ago. Come on. Think.
Oh, man. All right, well, I'm going to try to follow this up because Hybrid says, underdog, my boy Nerds beat Blizzard. That's a fair point.
Yes, exactly what I talked about earlier on.
Well, on a lighter note, you do like a good slushie, which I did see on Instagram. You do like slushies, so I try to like your post most of the time.
I like them American ones called Icy. Beautiful.
Well, what I like sometimes in the summer, do you have 7-Eleven?
No, is that like a fuel station or is it just a
convenience store thing? And
yeah, we have them 24/7 up the road here as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like to get a Slurpee, which is close to.
I think what they're bringing in now is like the Jolly Rancher ones. I think Jolly Rancher from America and things like that. So yeah.
I usually like the cherry ones. I'll get a.
Do you get like the Tango Ice Blasts over in America?
Yeah. We got those. Okay, so
they're doing the Fanta. I think they're doing the Fanta ones now.
Yes, they have Fantas. They have them here now too. Yep. Okay, so there you go.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I just bought my son Oscar some Kool-Aid in the packets today from the shop. So you must have to put the powder of Kool-Aid in.
You know what? I was growing up as a kid. I used to look forward to when my mother would actually do that. That was a long time ago, though. She would actually do the Kool-Aid. And I'd be like so happy we're having Kool-Aid. And then after a while, it was like she stopped making it. And then now you're going to do it. So obviously,
we were in the shop just after I got FIFA and they were selling all the American sweets. And I came across this chocolate bar and I says to Danielle, what movie or film is this off? Where he chucks it and he hits his head. It's off she was like, little kids doing it, like the kid doing it, they're going on an adventure. She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, it's the Goonies, the Baby Ruth.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I've got a Baby Ruth in my hand. When I was a kid, I used to always look at it and go, I want a Baby Ruth. But as I've grown up, no offense to you guys, but I see all the artificial stuff and the genetically modified stuff that goes in it.
Funny you said this, Mr. Barrass, and we're here right now with obviously the owner of Coloring Championship Wrestling, Mr. James Barrass. We're getting ready for No Excuses. We're also going to get ready for Coloring of Souls 3 and Carnage Championship Wrestling on October the 13th. But when I had the big cheese on himself a few months ago, the last time we were speaking candy, we were actually talking about I'm actually not a big candy eater. I actually do not eat candy for some of the reasons you said. If I eat candy, it's like a very rare instance. It's like if I'm in a pinch, I have to go somewhere, and it's like I need like an emergency food to eat. You know, when I used to shovel snow, when I used to do that in college to make extra pounds, as you'd say in the UK, I would take a candy bar with me. That was great. It would settle me through. But other than that, I don't really go for candy too much. Ron would like to say that he has to get back to work. He wants to say it was an honor to meet you. So we thank you, Ron, and I'll see Ron
Thank you very much.
later on here with that. So, okay, so I've got all that down. I want people to follow CCW and all of those great platforms here. And I want to talk what Mr. Nova wanted to say also about is let's talk about Coloring of Souls 3, October the 28th. Let's speak about that for a few minutes. So what can we expect here in this show?
Well, we can definitely expect some spooks and some scares and some, you know, some devious things going on. But there's definitely something that's going to happen that has never been done before. But that is for another time, Reverend.
Never done before. So let me just parcel this, though.
Not in CCW.
Never been done before in CCW. And you said there'll be a lot of spooky stuff?
Yes, and then we've got, you mentioned McGregor versus Taylor Truth.
Which I'm going to... How is this going? Listen, let's talk about this for a second, right? So I've had Taylor Truth on, I've had Colin McGregor on in the past. How are these guys going to have a match?
Apple bobbing match. And it's going to look so
Are we going to make this the main event?
It's going to look so good.
Saying that. They're going to both
watching McGregor wiping his glasses dry, not seeing a goddamn thing what's going on when his face is all nice and clean. You know, he's had a bit of a bath while he's trying to eat his apples, you know. But
well, actually, that's how almost the end of the movie of Equalizer 3 is Mr. McCall, Denzel Washington's character, actually bites on an apple. So what an irony there. But you also said spooky things. Spooky things are going to happen in this show. Is that a fair statement?
It's Halloween, you know.
Will you dress up on the 28th?
Yes, I think I might. And I think I might, if I can get it, I think I might just be Del Boy from Only Fools and Horses. And Nerds can be Rodney.
And I think this was kind of funny here. It'll be a snoozer, that match between Cullen and Taylor.
Well, I'll not be paying attention to it. No doubt they'll have their little fans cheering them on. As soon as they're out the ring, we can get on with the show.
Okay, I mean, obviously, we'll have to see. I would imagine we'll see more announcements.
Who's your money on, Reverend? Taylor or McGregor?
This is almost like there is no winner here in this match. There's no winner. I mean, if I were to say one, maybe Taylor, because Taylor might be younger. Maybe the agility.
Well, let us put it this way. We've got one guy that doesn't look like he eats apples anyway. So I don't think he is intending to put an apple in his mouth anytime soon, McGregor. Then we've got another guy with a big mouth, but doesn't look like he washes his face. So I don't think he's going to dip his face in the goddamn water. He might pick the apple out to eat, you know. But so I'm struggling on this one.
I don't know who the winner is. I guess the fans might be the winner. If that makes sense. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess Taylor might have the edge.
You know Taylor's going to do it for the CWO, and you know McGregor is going to try and do it for the elite establishment.
Yeah, which is the never-ending cycle of the elite and CWO. And
exactly.
You're kind of there and saying, damned if you do, damned if you don't. It really doesn't matter. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Flip a coin. Flip the other side of a pound. It doesn't make a difference to me. I got you on that. Hybrid says, dress up as a raging success of a CEO. Oh, wait. You already are.
That put a smile on my top. Thank you very much.
Well, I have a funny one for the tribal cheese. He could just have a cheese head on, right? Because he's the cheese. You just show up following as a cheese.
Yeah. But what if someone dresses up in a mousetrap and starts chasing them about?
um, somebody knowing CCW, no, I actually think somebody will figure out how to do that for whatever reason.
CCW
Call
is
me
the
crazy.
place we make these things happen.
You guys have always had creativity over the years. You guys have always been original. So something tells me, Mr. Barrass, somebody's going to watch this show tonight and they're going to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm actually going to dress up as a mouse trap, which I couldn't even think. Is that feasible? I'm trying to think. Has anybody actually ever dressed up as a mouse trap? You know, I didn't learn tonight about you and Rico Justice. I didn't learn about Hybrid and the Tribal Cheese. I didn't learn about Dustin Hart again and Alfie Nerds. No, I learned about people dressing up and maybe as in a mouse trap. I mean, that's what I learned tonight on Sportswire. I guess
There's always a first. There's always a first for everything.
yeah, there's a first. And then Hybrid said we basically would say somebody on the roster and then they would have a match. And then the Tribal Cheese actually brings up a cheese grater. So, yeah, you could actually dress up as a cheese grater. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I'm sure somebody in ECW probably did that. Then we have a show coming up on Friday the 13th, 2 weeks from today.
A Nightmare on Carnage Street.
So you want to talk about that for a few minutes before we get to a few other things?
Well, I can talk a little bit. I don't know much what's going on. Ronnie Thatcher runs that show.
Okay.
So,
I owe Ronnie's another guy that I owe an appearance to. I mean, I'm trying to work my way back on. I think we had Champagne Charlie at the beginning of the month. I had him on. We brought Hybrid on. We have you on. So I'm trying to bring everybody, I guess, back on slowly. So, I mean, that'll
I
be
think
that.
Ronnie Thatcher's going through some goddamn phase. He needs to wake up. He's a double champion for crying out loud. But he just seems like he's on some sort of downward spiral. But do you know what it is? He's a man. He's tough ugh. He got in it. He's tough enough to get out of himself. Do you know what I mean? I know you will.
He's a tough man. I would not mess with him. I would not mess with him whatsoever. I would not mess with the gentleman thug Ronnie Thatcher, and we'll have to find out on the 13th of October. And
I do know he's going against Jam Dog for the Carnage title.
Well, Jam Dog is actually somebody that is on the bucket list on Sportswire, so maybe next week I may try to see if Mr. Jam Dog wants to talk about that. So that is on the agenda. So we have the show the 13th, so we'll try to get somebody on before the 13th. I think I could probably do that. So that might actually be something of interest. And I know that they haven't appeared in CCW, but I at least have to mention it. You guys have signed Davey Blaze and Johnny Storm. And technically, I had Davey Blaze on, who's a part of the roster. I had him on not too long ago. So do you want to at least talk about them for a few minutes?
Yeah. Blaze, absolutely incredible guy.
Oh, my God. Davey Blaze could do a match himself and obviously be entertaining.
Yeah, absolute incredible guy. He will be. I'm going to be sorting out all the backstage stuff and everything, and
I spoke with Davey the other day.
Yeah, we'll be working out the finer details, and we'll be definitely getting them down to CCW. Did you mention Johnny Storm as well? Yeah?
Yes, I did.
Johnny Storm, another incredible human
my God,
being.
Johnny Storm is like a living legend. I had Dean Allmark on, and it's like Johnny Storm, Dean Allmark, Johnny Storm, Storm, Dean Allmark.
He came to CCW and full of smiles, down to earth guy. So soft in how he speaks and how he communicates. He's just always helpful. And when he left CCW Carnage, he was like, I want to come back. Some of the dates I did throw to him, he was already pre-booked somewhere else, but I will 100% get him at the family show as well and back at Carnage. But all nice round human being. We had a bit of a laugh.
I had one conversation with Johnny before. Johnny is like amazing.
He was doing the seminar in the ring and we were playing. I said, do you want a little bit of music on in the background or he says, yeah. He said, put a bit 80s on or something. So we put the 80s on and it was it Aha, something, Take On Me, the song. Yes. He was like, because he calls me Jim. And that's I'll let him off. He's a legend, so I don't like being called Jim.
It's Johnny Storm.
Yeah, it's Johnny Storm. He was like, Jim. He stopped the seminar. Like, it was like literally, I was standing there and he was standing there. He went, Jim. Do you know this song? I only found out the other day what the lyrics said on there at the high bits. And he was like, and I was like, oh, I only found out that the other day, and all it was on the acoustic version. He went, yeah, same here. And we just started singing it, and we're having a laugh, and all the guys were waiting around the ring, we're waiting to do the seminar, and then me and him are doing this. You take on, I'll be gone in a day or two. Like we're doing that, and we're having such a laugh, and we're like, oh, sorry guys, we got to get back to the seminar, and then we will keep like putting it in like that and stuff. Hit it off straight away. He loved it up here, and he definitely wants to come back to CCW.
I mean, the stories that he has, what he do for this company, I really cannot wait to see what Johnny Storm would bring to the table. And Davey's another guy. I mean, Davey is just the man. I mean, then Davey's coming back to Sportswire. He just was on a trip in Denmark, so I know that he's, I think, booked in October, but I know that he's coming back in the month of November because Davey already told me. He's like, look, I liked your interview with me. I do these, and guys, they don't know what they're talking about. You did, so we're gonna do one again. I'm like, okay, yes, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Blaze. So yeah, that's it. It's Davey Blaze. I'm not gonna argue with him. If he wants to come on, yeah, come on.
He's the Scott the Savage for a reason, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. I found that out on and off the air. Mr. Tribal Cheese would like to know what's next for the Tribal One.
Well, Mr. Cheese, what is next for you? Get on a plane, fly back to the UK, come and have a meet up with me, and we'll work out the finer details in the office.
Okay, sounds like a plan. I'm sure that Mr. Logan will be back on Sportswire as well. He is always one of our frequent favorites, and he is on YouTube as well at Mad Manx. He just crossed the 1,000 subscriber mark on YouTube, so congratulations to
Well done.
Tribal Cheese. Johnny Storm is an idol of mine, an amazing, amazing wrestler, world-traveled and never runs out of tricks. True legend. Absolutely. Listen, he's still going. He's been doing this for over 2 decades, and he still looks great. He's just still phenomenal in the ring.
Yes.
He's just a true definition. I always say it's him. I always say it's him, Dean Allmark, and Martin Kirby are the definitions of pro wrestlers. It's like those three. They're like in threes. And Johnny, to me, is just the absolute quintessential example of that. So I could not agree with you more. Tribal Cheese versus Barrass.
Well, now, you know, these people that are scared to come to the Forbidden Door. Johnny Storm did. So come on. Johnny Storm came to CCW, wrestled in this ring, and he liked it and wants to come back. Now, come on.
I could see why. Listen, because I've always been saying for 2 years how much I like CCW, and I think the fans like it because there's sellout after sellout after sellout. I lost count on the amount of sellouts, so I can't see why Johnny Storm wouldn't like CCW. I can't see why not Davey Blaze wouldn't like CCW. I can't see why not the Tribal Cheese wouldn't like CCW, and frankly, anybody else here. So let me get to some more comments. Rico, you are obsessed with Barrass. Stay on your lane. I'll put you back in it. Ooh. Hybrid, the pit bull is showing. He is showing his colors here. Mr. Barrass, we can talk over a red wine. It's a date. There you go.
The problem that we have there, Logan, is I've got no red wine. So it's going to look a bit awkward, you sitting there sipping your fine Italian Rome wine while I'm sitting there drinking Council Pop. If you know what Council Pop is, it's water.
Well,
from the tap.
I have that all the time. But, you know, I guess maybe he'll have to bring over some wine on the plane from Italy to the UK. Maybe he'll have to bring that there to the Conservative Club next time that we see the Big Cheese here. I came through that forbidden door and haven't left. Amen to that. I want to get to a couple things here before I get to closing thoughts. First, I want to get to, give me your final words for Rico Justice before tomorrow night.
Now, Rico, listen here. These are the final words that I'm going to say to you on this show. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Wow. You just dropped a mic drop if there was ever one. You basically said the outcome of the match. Hybrid said you probably lost Rico at 6. Well, that's not fair because you have to know he has to know the count at 10. He has to at the very least know the count. I don't know why people talk bad of CCW. It's the best wrestling family you can be a part of. Mr. Barrass has my backing, acknowledging Bray. And I agree with you 1000% on that. And that's why I said at the very beginning that CCW is a company that I'll always continue to support because I've always seen the good in the people. I've always seen the works of the CCW locker room in the community. And that's to me what matters more than anything else. Not what a few people, not what different people in different locker rooms think. That's what matters. It's my show. And that's what I think. And I'm going to continue to bring people on from CCW till the day that I'm no longer here. So you
All I
can
will say on that, Rev, to follow up on that is we're human. People make mistakes.
absolutely.
If if people continue to do the same mistakes, then you know it's a problem. If people have made mistakes, realised, never done them again, and said they wouldn't do them again, then they've had their word and they've stuck by the word. And people need to realise, we ain't the bad guys by far. We care
100%.
about people. We care about people. We care about helping people. CCW was always built on mental health, people with mental health. Um, has it had its roller coasters right up and down? Has it had the fallout? People coming and going, leaving, and then maybe coming back? Yes. This is the wrestling business. This is what kind of
Oh, listen,
happens.
WWE. Listen, first of all, WWE has had thousands of roller coasters, right? Owen Hart died in an accident. There's thousands of things that have happened. The steroids. Listen, AEW has all their problems. Look at CM Punk. Impact Wrestling went through
Mm.
ownerships. MLW was in a lawsuit with WWE. I mean, you've got WCW that folded. I mean, any company, but any business in life, any family has problems. Nobody's perfect. You said it, you hit the nail on the head at the very beginning. When you said that, we're human beings. As
Yep.
human beings, we are flawed, we are not perfect, and things do happen. But I know at the end of the day, for me, and I'm going to say it continuously, CCW is a place that is always going to be welcomed on Sportswire. So that's my thing, and I'm sticking to it. And I want to say hello to somebody. Have you had, I've heard this before, have you had Cherry Bakewells yet? As I know, Barrass is a big fan of them. So that's, I actually have not had Cherry Bakewells, but maybe one day I will. Never say never, right? Never say never.
I don't like cherry bakewells.
Okay.
that,
Well,
that's got me. That got me. Right. I've tried them. Nah.
okay. I haven't, but you know what? I always say, like you said actually a while ago, never say
Yeah.
never. And and also Rico's funny. Well done. You can count to 10. Well, you counted to 10. I mean, you might be down for 10. I don't know. We'll have
Oh,
to
sorry,
find out.
Rev. Did you see my final words or the ref's final words? When you were saying, have I got any? Was
Well, you
I
want,
got any
you
final?
want more words? It's your show. It's your company.
Oh, right. Sorry, I'm going a bit deaf at the old age, kicking on a bit. I thought you said, what is the ref's final words to Rico Justice? Not mine. So my final words is just take the beating like a man. Just stay down. You can get in the ring. I'll let you lie down if you want. Just lie down. I won't touch you. Scouts on it. I will not touch you. Hand on my heart. You can lie there. I'll let you get back up. Take your boy's hand. And you can walk to the back untouched. You've got that option. You have that option. But I don't know if you'll take it. But that's my last words. What I thought you said, Rev, was what is the ref's final words to Rico Justice? Sorry,
I'll let it slide because you're James Barrass. I'll let it slide because you're James Barrass. But I think,
right.
ladies and gentlemen, I have heard a lot tonight about Cutlery Championship Wrestling and their sold out show yet again, which is, oh, by the way, a trainee show. And it's called No Excuses. And it's going to see James Barrass, our CEO, in a last man standing match against Rico Justice, where we could very well see Rio Delador join up with maybe Mr. Barrass and some others. We'll have to see what happens with her. We also have Hybrid Walker Walsher, which we spoke a lot about last week on the show, and certainly a lot tonight to the interest of both Hybrid and the Tribal Cheese himself. Alfie Nerds is going to be in the ring. Prince Dagan is in the house, and the champion's going to always have something to say. He's going to have something that I'm sure a lot of people are going to check out. Plus, much more. Beelzebub is going to be in action. You're going to see a
Nate
lot.
Sawyer.
Nate Sawyer, I was about to say him as well. Nate Sawyer is going to be in the house. I mean, I'm sure Dustin Hart's going to pop up somewhere. I mean, there's going to be a phenomenal list of talent. They're going to be here on those social media platforms before or for us. Here is where you're going to find out more information. Support this company. You also have Colory of Souls 3 on October the 28th. Carnage Championship Wrestling has their next big show coming up on the 13th of October. We're excited about all of it. CCFNW for life. James Barrass, you are a very, very busy man, but I now want to give you the floor. I want to give you some closing thoughts. And anything else you want to plug, share, or say, Mr. Barrass, it's your show. It's your show. The floor is yours. Fire away.
So I just want to say thanks to everybody that supports CCW. Thanks for everyone that supported from day one, whether it's day one of the shows, day one we ever went live on Facebook. Thanks for being on this incredible journey with CCW. You know, to the roster, you know, if you're not top tier, you know, thank you anyways. You know, you have done the part in that, but you know, I'm going to be nice and, you know, sorry, did I speak out loud there? Sorry, nerds. Nerds, you really lifted this company up with me, top tier, forever. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, you have no excuses not to support CCW. You need to support them on Facebook.
Also, sorry, I do want to thank even the ones that have been, came, and left, because without even them, we wouldn't have gotten this far. So thank you to everybody that stepped in CCW ring, that's performed, that's done anything, whether it's interacted online, anything like that. Thank you as well.
Well, there you have it there. And that's why I say again, this is why you need to support and follow everything that CCW does on Facebook at Colory Championship Wrestling, Carnage Championship Wrestling, Coming Out Championship Wrestling, Instagram, Colory_Championship Wrestling. And they have a huge show. It's a training show. It's free. It's going to be tomorrow called No Excuses. We've got Carnage Championship Wrestling show Saturday, October the 13th. And right before Halloween on the 28th, we've got Colory of Souls 3. We already know one match announced, and it's certainly going to be a snoozer match to some, but maybe some others might like it. Cullen McGregor and Taylor Truce. But I know one thing. You're going to see a whole list of stars there. Prince Dagan. You're going to see Hybrid, I'm sure. Walker Wall Street. Dustin Hart. Jam Dog. Nate Sawyer. Alfie Nerds. And especially the Tribal Cheese, among many, many others. The First Class, I'm sure, will be in the house. And also the boss himself, Mr. Barrass, James Barrass, the CEO of Colory Championship Wrestling, our Vince McMahon, our Paul Heyman, and some, our Tony Khan. Move on all over. You have nothing on these guys. And he says the boss for a reason. Amen to that. What an honorable and kind-hearted man. We definitely agree with all of that. And certainly want Mr. Barrass to be also followed on Instagram and Facebook as well. Mr. Barrass, I could ask you 10,000 more questions, but I know you're getting ready for tomorrow's show. I want to thank you, as always, for everything that you do, not just for CCW, not just for wrestling, but the community as well in the UK, but also for always, over the past 2 years, granting myself here at Sportswire Radio the opportunity to speak with your abundant list of talent. I can't thank you enough for all that. I'm looking forward to many more ahead. And thank you as always, and good luck tomorrow against Rico Justice.
Thank you very much. I don't need luck, Reverend.
All right.
But thank you.
All right, fair enough. I was just saying I wish you well. I wish you well in the ring. I hope you do well. Hope you do well. I hope you do well. And we'll talk about it on Sportswire. But tonight we had James Barrass on, the CEO of CCW, of course, again, to talk about one more time No excuses. Tomorrow night, a phenomenal card. It's only the beginning of CCW shows. Again, like I said, October the 13th, 2 weeks today. From now, you'll see Carnage Championship Wrestling. The 28th of October, it was also going to have Coloring of Souls 3. It's going to be a show that I'm sure we're going to be talking a lot about here in Sportswire Radio. You can check out all of it on all their social media platforms I've listed below. But if you're on sportnarium.com/player, you can go back to your regularly scheduled programming. But if you're on YouTube and Twitter, I'll be back at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Until then, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice of all wrestling, the host of the Sports Report, the owner of Sportswire Radio, with the owner of CCW, CCF&W for life, James Barrass. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.